Inoue, I'm proud of him. He's from Japan in Asia.
Your prediction, how does the fight end? Manny Pacquiao, Barrios. Decision or knockout?
Ooh, I think a knockout. I think a
Manny?
knockout. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because
What round?
I'll probably say mid, like late, probably 8 to 10.
Later in the fight?
I'll give that gap to 8 to 10.
I recently visited Manny Pacquiao's training camp as he prepares for his upcoming fight against Mario Barrios. Pacquiao praised Inoue's remarkable achievements and noted how Inoue's fighting style is reminiscent of his own from his younger days. He commended Inoue's discipline, speed, and skill, expressing pride in all that Inoue has achieved and viewing him as a true embodiment of elite boxing.
Inoue, I'm proud of him. He's from Japan in Asia, in our place. So his style is like when I was young, like 15, like when I was 115, 122, 128. Inoue is he can fight in different division. If you want my advice how to do what to do, I can give him advice.
We'll get him to 8 divisions.
I don't know. 8 division is hard to talk.
Manny Pacquiao recently shared with the media that he places Naoya Inoue above Gervonta Davis, emphasizing that Inoue's remarkable speed is the decisive factor. Pacquiao pointed out that in modern boxing, quickness and sharp reflexes are essential, and Inoue truly exemplifies this. He lauded the Japanese fighter's ability to execute combinations with such speed that opponents struggle to counter, reiterating that speed is the most effective path to dominance in the ring.
Why is that? Why does Inoue beat Gervonta if they could have figured out a fight?
Inoue is fast.
Inoue is fast.
In boxing, speed is the key.
Further expressing his admiration, Pacquiao acknowledged not only Inoue's speed, but also his impressive punching power. He confidently stated that Inoue's well-rounded skill set would be enough to overcome Gervonta Davis, emphasizing both his speed and strength. Pacquiao highlighted Inoue's remarkable ability to finish fights in the middle rounds, underscoring his versatility. Through these comments, Pacquiao made it clear how highly he regards Inoue's abilities and why he considers him one of the most complete fighters in boxing today.
Pacquiao was asked who he thought would win against Gervonta Davis versus Naoya Inoue, and he says he fights like I used to. In a media scrum for his shock world title return against Mario Barrios, which I still can't believe is happening. He's 46 years old. I don't know why Mario Barrios signed. Obviously, everyone wants to fight a legend, but like, he's 46. You know what I mean? He could be your dad. But yeah, 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao was asked to predict what he believes would happen if Davis and Inoue were to face each other at some point in the future. Inoue is fast. Inoue's style is like when I was young. I would definitely have to say not so much similar. I just feel like Pacquiao was a little bit more wilder. Inoue seems to have more compact, tighter punches, if that makes sense, but I can see the similarities in a sense that way. But yeah, I think, I don't know, it's hard, that's a lot of weight to cover. So I don't know who'd win that, honestly. Who do you guys think would win?
In a candid moment, Pacquiao revealed that Naoya Inoue is his current favorite boxer. He emphasized how Inoue embodies the true essence of boxing: aggression balanced with movement, charisma in the ring, and calculated precision. Pacquiao explained that Inoue reminds him of his own prime in his 20s, someone who never stood still and applied constant pressure through relentless footwork.
Boxing now, you're still into it. Do you enjoy watching boxing?
Yeah, because boxing is my passion, so that's why I'm enjoying watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian, like Naoya Inoue,
Amazing fighter.
He's a good fighter. and I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
Yeah, he probably will. Such a quality fighter.
As fans eagerly await Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring on July 19th against WBC champion Mario Barrios, the Filipino icon is in the midst of an intense training camp with a world title on the line. He has reunited with longtime trainer Freddie Roach and committed to a grueling regimen. Whether it's shadow boxing, high-intensity interval training, or weightlifting, Pacquiao's focus remains unshakable. Insiders suggest he is not returning for a nostalgic farewell, but as a serious contender, ready to reclaim his spot among the elite. One of Pacquiao's sparring partners recently predicted a decisive 8th-round knockout against Barrios, praising Pacquiao's sustained quickness. Remarkably, the partner believes Pacquiao still outpaces many of his opponents in their physical prime. The sparring sessions are reportedly high intensity, with Manny's sharp counters and fluid footwork keeping younger opponents on the defensive. This confidence reflects the belief within Pacquiao's camp that his speed continues to be his greatest asset. Mario Barrios has responded with resolve to the narrative surrounding his age disadvantage. At 30, he confidently declares, "I have youth on my side," while acknowledging Pacquiao's legendary status, yet refusing to be overshadowed. Barrios stressed that facing a 46-year-old icon is no simple task, and he intends to challenge Manny in every facet: speed, stamina, and ringcraft. His confidence reflects the mentality of a champion determined not to let experience intimidate him.
Not like other fighters are doing right now, you know?
He's faster than any 26-year-old. He runs faster than the whole. He's running with a bunch of lions, like young, hungry lions, and he's outpacing. Like today, he ran to kill a record speed. I drove, he ran, and he got there like 1 minute after me.
Yeah, I just heard he did like an hour 25 minutes running uphill.
And then shadow box, then 1,600 sit-ups.
So that's something, you know, that some of us at this age are like, you know, we kind of, you're not seeing people doing that, so it's like
15 and 118. He could have fought 150, 118 on the same day and become a 10. Without giving away the game plan, because you're in the gym with him, obviously. Give me your prediction. How does the fight end? Manny Pacquiao Barrios. Decision or knockout?
Ooh, I think a knockout. I think
For
a
Manny?
knockout. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because
What round?
I'll probably say mid, like late, probably 8 to 10.
Later in the fight?
I'll give that gap, the 8 to 10 gap. I'll say around there. And I'm saying I'm calling a right hand. I'm calling a right hand. You know,
How hard does he hit?
You know, he's a solid dude. That's what I can say. That's what I can say. He's a solid guy. He's a really solid.
Oscar de la Hoya, who shared a legendary rivalry with Pacquiao, praised Manny's decision to take on Barrios at this stage of his career. He described the fight as more than just a sporting event, calling it a testament to Pacquiao's courage in pursuing meaningful challenges rather than easy wins. De La Hoya noted that Barrios is a credible opponent with a solid record, stressing that Pacquiao is not just looking for attention, but is instead reinforcing his legacy through real competition.
You're 30, he's 46, hasn't fought in 4 years. Like, in your mind, how do you see the fight going? How are you going to beat Manny, or what do you see yourself doing to him?
Yeah, I know. I just had to use, all of that, like the, as busy as I've been in my career, the attributes I have, the skill set I have, the youth is on my side. So it's my job just to go in there, use all of that again, just make sure, I still walk out holding that title. I said it. I mean, at the end it's kill or be killed. I know, if he has been hurt at any point, he's gonna be the same way. Like I said, it's just my job, just to work on everything. Me and my team have been, training and drilling, these last couple weeks, and finish off these next 6, as best as we can, so I could go in there come fight night and still retain the title.
All right, guys.
Undefeated contender Rolly Romero offered an intriguing viewpoint, asserting that no matter the outcome, Pacquiao's legacy as a legend remains unshaken. Romero also expressed a desire to face Manny in the ring next, suggesting that such a fight would captivate fans globally. Romero's remarks frame the bout as a symbolic moment, where a legendary figure faces an ambitious challenger hungry to claim the spotlight.
I would ask a simple question. And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Why? That's it. That's it. Why? Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because I love to fight and I want to fight the best, and I've been watching boring fights and I want to come back and give a show against Barrios, who's a world champion. That's a true legend for you.
Camp footage and media clips highlight Pacquiao's punching precision and speed, with combinations delivered in quick bursts designed to refine both technique and rhythm. His footwork, a defining aspect of his style, remains exceptional. At an age when many fighters would have retired, Pacquiao's commitment in camp is remarkable. The detailed drills, featuring mid-range combination sequences, defensive parrying, precision punching, and full ring movement, reveal an athlete approaching the fight with meticulous care. This creates a training environment characterized not by diminishing intensity, but by careful, focused refinement.
Rolly Pacquiao.
Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a fuck about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated shit, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Promoter Frank Warren and pundit Simon Jordan openly criticized the WBC and athletic commissions for permitting 46-year-old Pacquiao to compete for a world title. Both called the situation unnecessary and warned it could put his storied legacy at risk. They cautioned that allowing such high-stakes contests for aging fighters might damage boxing's reputation and suggested it reflects poor governance within sanctioning bodies. In direct interviews, Pacquiao dismissed the notion that financial gain was behind his return. He instead shared that he felt an emotional void while away from the sport, missing the discipline, daily grind, and the adrenaline of competition. He framed boxing as a personal calling, not a commercial pursuit, highlighting his charitable efforts and public service as evidence of his true priorities.
Much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios.
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Former world champion Ricky Hatton, reflecting broader concerns, warned that permitting Pacquiao to return at 46 for a high-profile title fight could establish a harmful precedent. Drawing comparisons to previous comebacks that led to physical decline, Hatton cautioned that even the greatest athletes risk tarnishing their legacies by returning too late. His remarks underscored the fear that the sport, along with its fans, could witness the tragic downfall of boxing icons.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
Fans and industry voices have shown a mix of nostalgic excitement for Pacquiao's comeback, coupled with genuine concerns about his well-being. Many have drawn comparisons to the later years of Mike Tyson, where once celebrated comebacks ended in painful decline.
Frank can speak to it far more eloquently than I can. I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's a appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it, or whether it's the publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens in the world and the relationship that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis. That's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's forming against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport inside out. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing doing it, it's the governing body. I mean, it's their title and they decide who can fight for their title, so that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age and won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at... but
he didn't go straight into a world title fight though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world title.
4 years he's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, innit? To be honest with you, boxing's, you know, if you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then, you know, Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny is coming back though. You know, Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's coming back fighting for the world title. But, and I say this with love, you know, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't. He's got that on our previous successes, hasn't he? You know, to walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? What happened? Surely he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. All of a sudden he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at #1 contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think he's got. Did you say fifth, Joe? He's been already placed fifth in the world ranking.
You know, when you've been retired years, and you know, and your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back. But we don't know what he's going to be like today. So you know, you'd like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time. Yeah. But I was a little bit past my sell back today. You know, I'd had one or two. You know, I wasn't a master of defence like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one in sometimes.
Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao. The fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is now official. July 19th on pay-per-view in Las Vegas. We saw video this week, Sergio, of Manny Pacquiao back at Wildcard, like he's never left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing eye need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed. It in front of a heavy bag, but whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have 0 legs. This is a man that made a career.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.